in Europe, nothing kills you. I mean, you could say maybe vipers if you're in the middle of nowhere and within a week you can get to a hospital. But we killed everything that can kill us, which is sad, but also makes it more easy. Well, you have bears and wolves now coming back, and it is a problem because we have the cultural landscape here has a lot to do with cows grazing on the mountains, and within by the 1970s, more or less all the bears were killed. Then they reintroduced them in the 90s slowly, and now they're coming back because people don't go to hunt, so you have a lot of deer, and so it's wolves and bears are doing fine. But then the shepherd says, "What, what about me? I can't. My cows are grazing, and then once a year maybe we just kill 5 of them. Who's going to pay for that?" So then the European Union said, "Well, we're going to pay for each cow," and then you start speculation. So like, well, then it might be even a good business to get the bears kill my cows. So it's a bit of from the city or from the from media, you always have this drive to, oh, finally more bears, how nice. And the Swiss are bad people because as soon as a bear goes through the Alps to Switzerland, they shoot it, like boom, and no mercy, zero. So they say like, fucking Swiss people, and say like, yeah, okay, but because you are a designer in Milan and you don't want everything to be pretty around you. But if you live, if you have your cows up there, what the you cannot build huge fences everywhere to keep them out. Like, it's an actual problem. So when things are not analyzed in a more nuanced way, it's always a bit it becomes a debate, and it seems to be a time of debates overall. It is incredible in what circumstances Vitis Vinifera can produce. Like, it is a sacred plant, it always has been, but there is a reason for that, because it's extremely resilient. In fact, our soils are way too fertile for viticulture. Like, if you were although they always did, because apparently they were doing well enough, but for a place like this, you produce vegetables, because you can grow fat vegetables. We have a problem with too much fertility in the soil, even though it's sand. And so, if you can plant, Patagonia, you can plant vineyards in the middle of the fucking desert. It will be somehow fine. You can plant it on 2,000 meters. You can plant them almost everywhere in the world. In Brazil, they do 2 harvests a year. It's crazy. They might taste like. So in terms of the terroir and so on, it's a bit different. Africa is a weird place because you have actually, well, besides Northern Africa, historically being one of the most important production areas for viticulture, but then, obviously, Islam kind of put it down. But there is, for example, the high plains of Eritrea, which might be one of the most interesting areas. The French are doing something that, but then there's civil war all the time, so it doesn't really work. Because there you are in tropical climate, but you're at 3,000 meters. So then again, it's like being here. So besides Africa, there is no continent that is like, Oh, I had some great wine from Azerbaijan and from Kazakhstan. All the guys in the vineyards during the harvest, which luckily I'm a bit out of because I have more important stuff to do. But no, it's true. But they always say, there are so many nettles in the vineyards. Like, well, it's great. Say, no, it sucks. Like, no, it's great. Here. So this is one thing that is quite unique. So because we have very sandy soils, Phylloxera hates sand. That's why people always say, riverbeds are, you can find very old pre-Phylloxera vineyards in riverbeds, or obviously volcanic soils. But it mostly has to do with the fact that Phylloxera doesn't like loose soils. And so Phylloxera doesn't like this place, and which is good. So we can do Marcottage. So this in Italian it's called popagine. So when this plant died 3 years ago, and we just pulled down the plant nearby, and it rooted, and it's fine. It goes into the production the first year. There you have the example of what we did this spring. Same thing. So bad plant here. We pulled this over, and now it's growing, and in the first year it already produced. So this is less expensive, more efficient and more intelligent than actually buying plants.